Hi everyone, welcome to another client interview, and today we have with us Leslie, and thank you for being here, Leslie, and agreeing to do this. This one is going to be exciting. I can't wait to share your story, and it's a little bit different because usually we wait until the latter stages of the program or until someone's finished the coaching, but you're about halfway through, but you've had such a phenomenal journey and some massive shifts and breakthroughs already that we really want to reminisce about your journey and share some insights with the community. So for anyone watching, please hashtag live, and if you're catching the replay, please hashtag replay, and we'll get straight into it, Leslie. So yeah, if you could just tell everyone a little bit about yourself and perhaps your state of mind and body when we had that first conversation, when you reached out to us.
Absolutely. So hi, everyone. I'm Leslie. I am 36 years old. I live in Los Angeles, California. And like a lot of people, I've been on a weight loss journey for a majority of my life. To give you a little bit of background, when I was a little kid, I was a chubby girl. And so I kind of had that stigma in my mind of how others perceived me for a really long time. And even through my other programs that I had been on in my 20s, it was like a yo-yo effect. I would go up, I would go down. And really the pandemic, like a lot of people, it really set me back. And so in the last year, I've been struggling to just get motivated to go outside, to work out, to get my body moving. And so I started following the Instagram account a couple months ago, and I would see the posts about welcoming new people and what the community was all about. And I was interested in it. But what really came to a head was around December, when I was just feeling like really depressed, really down. I think it was in the middle when California was having their peak in COVID. And so I was just in a moment of desperation. And I think I did it like early one morning when I woke up. I just like woke up, went to the page and filled out that survey. I had no intention to. It wasn't like deliberate, and I just did it. And then afterwards, we had that great, amazing call where you introduced the program and what it was all about. And after I got off the call, I was talking to my boyfriend, and I just told him, I said, something is calling me to this. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. And I don't have that feeling a lot in my life, but I know when I follow that intuition, it typically pays off. So I did it. And, my first goal was just to lose weight and get back to the weight that I was before the pandemic and everything closed up. But obviously, my journey in the last 2 months have been much more than weight loss. And I'm just so happy that I took that chance on myself to join the program and just be with this community of people. Because like you said, Scott, in the last 2 months, it's completely changed my perspective. My life is just resonating in so many different aspects of my being.
Amazing, Leslie. Thanks for sharing. So you're pleased you trusted that intuition and that gut feeling, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think you followed, like we call 5-second rule. Like you said, you had that urge to go and, fill the application. You didn't know why, what, and you just did it. And that just shows that it's literally following that gut instinct and that intuition. And it does pay off because you are led by heart, not by rational mind. I'll try again. I'll try another juice diet. I'll try go for an extra run. It just doesn't work that way, right? It's different when you are in the community with other like-minded people and have a structure and guides who show you the path. So could you agree with that having that support and having a coach really changes how you progress?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know myself, and I always need somebody like in my ear, like telling me what to do and like motivating me and like pushing me beyond my limits. So I knew like the coaching structure worked for me. What I didn't know was the community and everything. I mean, for me, my weight loss journey, like in my 20s until now, has been a solo journey. It's just been me and my thoughts and my goals and motivation. And I didn't realize that I carried so much shame around that, because I felt like I was doing something wrong. I was not the right person. And so even just joining a community and talking with other people about my struggles, like my wins, that is something that I didn't even know I needed. And it's just like, it's kind of like opened up this like part of me that I didn't know needed. And I hate to use this word, but like rescuing, but it really did that for me. And now, like, I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but even talking about my friends and family and being okay with them accepting my journey and accepting where I am in my life has been a huge unlock for me. So, you know, just vocalizing and being out there with people that can give me grace and say, hey, I'm experiencing the same struggles. It's been such a huge help because I'm not doing it alone anymore.
Yeah.
Amazing, Leslie. And you raised a very interesting point there, because what people think they need is often not what they actually need. And you mentioned, like, you know, weight loss being a focus at the beginning, and then it just opened all these other doors, didn't it? So what you thought you needed the most, or was a priority back then and a focus, then kind of just drifted into the background, and things were happening naturally as a natural byproduct. But compared to the other like profound shifts and breakthroughs in every area of your life, that was just put on the kind of back burner.
And talking about that, you know, rippling out into other areas of your life, I can't contain myself. But congratulations on getting a new job, kind of dream job, I guess, or something at least you really wanted. And you mentioned just before we talked with you in private that you believe that this program and this self-discovery journey helped you with that. So can you share about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work in human resources for a pretty big retailer here in the United States. And, you know, about 2 years ago is when I got exposed to a different side of human resources that I really wanted to pursue. And so I've been doing the work. I've been, you know, challenging myself and developing like new skill sets in that job, seeking out mentors and doing things to grow my career. But really 2 months ago, when I started working on myself and really investing the time to just work on, you know, being more vocal about what I want, showing up as my true authentic self, that's when it just accelerated everything. And, you know, so I went for it. Like I actually applied to 2 different positions in our digital business, because, you know, that's where retail is at and going. And the first position a couple months ago, I think it was in November, I didn't get. And it was, you know, it was crushing. I really wanted that position, and I thought I did everything I could to position myself well for it, but I didn't get it. And so this time around, when I applied to this position, I approached it in a whole new way. I showed up as my true authentic self. I, you know, answered the questions like it felt personal to me, and just, you know, showed them who I was. And I didn't try to conform to this like person that I thought that they needed. And so just being myself, I think is what actually got me the position. A lot of the people that I interviewed with, they just said like, I feel your energy and your authenticity through this, and I just feel like we could have a really good working relationship. So we didn't even talk about the job and like what it requires. We just talked about the people aspect of it. And I don't think I would have been able to do that if I didn't do the work myself internally, because I would have shown up as a completely different person.
That's amazing, Leslie. And that really resonates with us, because that's our whole kind of ethos that we apply to our own business. We call it authentic attraction, because we just be ourselves. And by being ourselves and, you know, unapologetically authentic, we attract, you know, amazing clients like yourself and the rest of our clients, because people resonate with that. we often think people that we have to be a certain persona. We have to, adhere to what people want to see. Particularly, I think in your case, working in like the fashion and retail industry, you had this image of what you thought people wanted, but that was actually holding you back. And it's when you started to become your true self, be fully authentic, be vulnerable, that the magic started to happen. And I remember a few weeks back, I think you had a company Zoom meeting, and you shared. Can you recall what happened in that meeting? It was something beautiful where you were just authentic, and you got loads of great feedback, and I think it opened some doors. And what happened in that meeting again?
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of background, I think this program has really allowed me to shine in my workspace, because like we've talked about, like in my personal life, I'm very accepted and welcomed by my friends and family. So I think for me, the transformation has really happened around my coworkers, because that's the one aspect of my life where I wasn't being myself. I wasn't showing up the best way that I could, because like you said, there was a barrier there. And so I think, this program has allowed me to just be vulnerable around my peers, and it's been so beneficial. And I considered it a weakness, like try to be this perfect person, but it's the complete opposite. So a couple months ago, we had just like a call amongst my peers and my boss and other professionals on there, and we were just sharing about things that trigger anxiety. And so a lot of people were talking about when they get an email after work, how to put that aside. And so it was all focused around work things that trigger anxiety. And towards the end of it, I just raised my hand. I said, I have to tell you guys what journey I'm on. And I told them about the program. I told them about things that I struggle personally that lead to my anxiety, how, sometimes at work, I don't feel like I'm good enough because I'm not, delivering the work or doing things like that. And everybody's faces were just like a blank stare. And I didn't know if that was good or bad. I just, kept going. And at the end, so many people reached out to me and they said, that was so brave of you for you to share. And my boss was in the room, so, and she reached out, so many people. And I didn't even know the impact that you can have by just sharing your fears and insecurities. And it actually made us way stronger together. And so it's been kind of full circle, because with that meeting and now telling everybody that I've been promoted, people are coming up to me and saying, you've made an impact on my life. You changed the way that I view things. Your support has been amazing. And I it's hard for people to say those things. And so when I hear it, my old me, I would have been like, oh no, stop it. Try to shy away from that compliment. But now I'm embracing it, because I know my true worth. And if I made an impact on people, that is monumental. So it's just been an incredible journey through work, and just going through all the different feelings and connections with everybody. It's just been such a wonderful experience.
Thanks for sharing that. And you gave me goosebumps, because we completely relate to that feeling of just when you're fully authentic and your true self, it's empowering, right? And like you said a moment ago, often being vulnerable is perceived as a weakness. But when you've experienced it, it's actually not just a strength, but a superpower. And once you realize that and you start to embody it and live it, then sky's the limit.
Yeah, and I wanted to emphasize one more thing you mentioned a few times from different perspectives. You told about the meeting where you showed up and you shared your personal story with your coworkers, and they resonated because they felt not alone. They felt, oh, I feel that too. And they felt much better because we understood we're not weird, we're not bad, we're not failing. We realized that all of you probably, or at least majority of you, feel or experience similar things.
They could relate to you on a human level.
And same what you said, that you didn't expect to have this community aspect when you came into our program, because you understood you're not alone and you were connecting with other women going through the same or similar struggles and journey and experiences. And it's so empowering feeling. We realize we're not alone. All of us have very similar situations, and that feeling of not feeling alone is really empowering and beautiful.
And sorry, I was just going to say, once we see someone being vulnerable and authentic, we're like, wow, I can do that as well. And, that's why we try and embody it as well in our community and on the group client calls, which you're part of, obviously. And then, you do it and you take it to your workplace, and then your colleagues take it and they may go home and open up to their families. And it's just that beautiful ripple effect that we always talk about.
So Leslie, some people might be watching and thinking, is it a weight loss and fitness program? What you guys talking about? So can you, because we want to clarify for someone who's watching and may not know, we are wellness coaches, and it's quite a big difference between being just fitness coaches. Fitness is just one of many components of wellness. So tell about your experience. Did you know what this wellness coaching is about when you started? Or you were expecting more like fitness, weight loss? How you perceived like what we do and how you see that now?
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys hooked me, right? Like it was like a fitness program. But then as we started this journey and like all the weekly topics that you say, that you share out with us, that's when you start kind of unlocking the other aspects of wellness. And so I think for me, the first month, that was my big focus. Like, let's get fit, let's, do the work, let's get back to my old jeans and all of that. And so that was my first priority. And, I love the structure that the program provides, because now I have like my morning routine. For me, I wake up really early. I do the workouts. It sets my mind in the right place. It gives me time for myself to focus on my wellness, and it starts me off on the right foot. And so I love that the structure of the fitness that it gives me. And the first month, that's what I was focused on, like my body, how it's changing. I had personal struggles with the scale years and years ago. So I knew coming into this program, I didn't want to measure myself on the pounds on the scale. And so I committed to myself to doing it in other ways, measuring my progress, either by the way that my clothes were fitting or how I was feeling. And I know that that's not typical for most people, but that's what worked for me. And I had a moment, I think it was like 3 weeks into the program, I stepped onto that scale, and the number that I saw was not what I was expecting. And it completely like put me into this headspin of like, oh my gosh, I thought I was this weight. I'm actually heavier than I thought. I was hearing that other people were losing really weight, and I was comparing myself. And then I think at that moment is when I completely reset my mindset for my goals at through this program. And then at that moment I said, you had a bad relationship with the scale a long time ago. Don't get yourself back there, and let's try other ways to measure success in this program. And that's when I completely shifted my mindset to follow the wellness aspect of it. I got reintroduced to like yoga and other like really uplifting podcasts and things of that nature. And just because I was putting the work into myself, the weight loss happened. I mean, I shared with the group that I lost an inch off my waist and my hips. Like, that for me, that's like a huge accomplishment, and it's to the program. And so, measuring success by like my energy levels, how I'm feeling, how I'm showing up for others, and then measuring myself, that's a byproduct of the other stuff that I'm doing. So I think for me I just shifted my focus early in the program to focus on wellness instead of like the weight loss that I originally signed up for.
Amazing. And it's ironic, right? Once we let go of that and stop focusing on it is when it happens.
It's like that.
And Leslie, what are the key like fundamental differences this time around, being in this program and this environment to all the other things you've tried in the past? Why is it working for you this time, and why is it all coming together?
Because it's not a short term thing. It's not like I have 4-6 months. It's a lifetime. And so when I like think about it, that this is just how I'm going to be for the rest of my life, it just kind of, I have a weight lifted off my shoulders because I know that it's long term. And so just having that in context, I put less pressure on myself. And so, all the different tools that you guys have given me are super actionable. And I just think it's something that if you embrace it, and meet it head on, and just be honest with yourself and with others around you, it's just going to shift your perspective of what your goals and, what you want to accomplish out of this. So for me, I don't think of it as like a program. I think of it as a lifestyle now.
Love it, Leslie. And we always say that calling it a program is like a disservice. It's almost doing it an injustice. It's more of like a process than a program. And I mean, we could keep talking about your wins because there's been so many, but
and we will, because you're still kind of in the midst of a program. So we're definitely gonna invite you again.
We'll do round 2, right?
Yeah, we'll do round 2 to see how you progress even more so. And I think for a lot of people, it will be very interesting to witness that as well. I can't wait because you're already obviously doing so well. So it will be very interesting to see you in another couple months.
Yeah, so amazing to see you thriving, Leslie, in every area of your life and embracing wellness as a whole, looking at every different facet of it. So if you could give someone one bit of advice, like a few closing words, anyone that's stuck or looking for help and doesn't know what to do, what would you advise them about potentially getting involved in this process?
I would say, invest in yourself. I think if you don't put yourself first and prioritize your needs, you're never going to be able to help those around you. And I know sometimes you prioritize other people's needs over yours. But then if you're not filling your own cup, then you can't, provide water for those around you. So do the work. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But I mean, I'm 2 months in and I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Amazing. Well said, Leslie. So thank you so much again for coming on and sharing. We'll definitely do this again. Keep thriving. We know you will. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Catch up again. Bye.
Bye-bye.